Holy shit. Anyone who feels that our system of government is not right on the edge of falling into a bottomless pit, the antics today by Republicans should clear that up for all of us very quickly. You know, every time they talked about, got to hurry up, the Republicans, this was after their special interrogator left. They got rid of her in a goddamn hurry, didn't they? What a bunch of cowards, Jesus. Every time the Republicans on this panel referenced how much time had been spent, and this was a big delay, and yada, yada, yada. You know, I was screaming at the television a couple of times, two words, Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland, you dirty fuckers. You know, when Scalia, bless his heart, went up to visit the saints and angels in heaven, in his heaven, Obama, after a while, nominated Merrick Garland. And of course, Mitch McConnell famously told the world, but primarily Barack Obama, go fuck yourself. I'm not even going to hold a hearing. This went on for over a year. So, you know, fuck the Republicans. They're not Republicans to begin with. They're fascists. And they're such amateurs. What a bunch of amateurs. And let's not forget what, I think it was John McCain who had said regarding that Supreme Court vacancy, that if Hillary Clinton won, the Republicans would make sure that seat stayed open for 4 years. You know, the great war hero, McCain. So, you know, once again, to the Republicans on that panel, what a bunch of angry, fucked up white men. Jesus, God. I mean, I watched as much of it as I could today. I watched all of the testimony from Dr. Ford, and I watched as much of this bullshit from Brett Kavanaugh. If ever anybody demonstrated their complete guilt, it would be Merrick Garland. I mean, that's all he did today. And that little bit about how angry and enraged he got. Oh, you want that guy on the Supreme Court, don't you? Oh, and he cried. Oh, well, and the way he kept drinking water after some of the original or 2015 presidential debates, when what's his name from Florida? Who's the senator from Florida, Kathy? The cute one, the cute dark one, his parents came from Cuba. Yeah, Rubio. Thank you. Remember when Rubio kept grabbing his glass to drink, or his cup of water? I think it was in a debate. And afterward, somebody who knows a lot more about this than I do said that that's a clear sign of guilt. That someone is, not necessarily guilt, but somebody is falsely testifying. So I watched Merrick Garland today just keep grabbing that glass of water, and his poor wife sitting over behind him with that hangdog look on her face. Oh, my poor baby. My poor baby. Nobody's supposed to know you're a fucking enraged drunk. No one's supposed to know you're a dry drunk. Jesus Christ, I thought we were keeping it secret, and here you are in front of everybody, just raging and raging and raging. Honey, please shut the fuck up. But he couldn't. He absolutely couldn't. So, and one other thing. What's Gorsuch's first name? Neil Gorsuch, the other one that Trump appointed. I don't know if anybody has mentioned the fact that Gorsuch went to the same high school as Brett Kavanaugh. And yet, when Gorsuch was being investigated, none of this shit came up about Gorsuch. I'm not defending Gorsuch. I think he's a little fascist prick too, but I'm just saying. Kavanaugh is guilty as the day is long. There is no fucking question, in my mind anyway. Of course, I don't have a vote, do I? But those really super pissed off white men. I thought Lindsey Graham Cracker was going to have a fucking stroke. I really did. I thought, yeah. I thought Lindsey Graham Cracker was going to lose his shit completely in front of everybody. And then Orrin Hatch talking about, oh, she's attractive. What the fuck? And didn't Mitch McConnell say earlier that the prosecutor from Maricopa County, Arizona, who just disappeared?
Yeah, they could have at least given her a kiss.
That was Mitch McConnell's assistant, right? Yeah, Kathy.
I'm sorry. I've been shouting at the television for the last 11 hours. No, that's not accurate. The last 10 hours, 9 hours. As you will attest, I haven't stopped watching this nightmare since the beginning, and it's just more and more enraged. There were just 2 points that I thought were worth making. One was, how is it possible that anyone coming before this judge, if he actually, well, first off, if he continued to be a federal judge after this, but then if, God forbid, he made it to the Supreme Court, Mr. Anger Management here, how would a Democrat even presume to get a fair shake? Does anybody think he wouldn't overturn Roe in a second if he had the opportunity? Did you hear him today talking about the Clinton conspiracy? This was Clinton payback? And I mean, he's out there promulgating Alex Jones conspiracy theories against Democrats and kept pointing to the Democrats and how angry he was at them. I couldn't believe how many times he interrupted Patrick Leahy or Dick Durbin or poor old, anyway, you get the point. But the other point I think that was notable was the difference between the 2 hearings, how she was very careful and as emotionally controlled as she could be, and that she was quiet and respectful and kept repeating she just wanted to help. You know, she documented this incident 10 years ago before there was ever a hint of Kavanaugh being on the Supreme Court. And the contrast between that and the scream fest of the angry white men screaming about women, essentially. I mean, it was just such a jarring juxtaposition. All right, I'm done. Thank you.
You can say whatever you want.
Well, I think they could have at least given the prosecutor woman, Aunt B. I mean, I think they could have at least given Aunt B a cookie and a kiss and said, you know, put a 20 on her dresser and said, thanks a lot, something. I mean, they didn't even say, she just disappeared. I mean, that is how dismissive these Republicans are, even of their own women. It's just, oh, honey, well, she's gone. Not even thanks. Appreciate it. Have a safe flight. Now I'm really done.
The whole thing with the female prosecutor, for me, showed 2 things. First of all, the absolute spineless cowardice of these Republican members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, for Christ's sake. They did not have the courage to question Dr. Ford. They just didn't, because those sons of bitches know the truth. They know. They're men. And just like I'm a man, I know the fucking truth, okay? There is no way that Kavanaugh is even coming within the same county as the truth.